When I look at resumes, and I've been hiring people for over 30 years, it's always their interest. It's always some minor thing. Education, great. You go to school where you go. It's a historical document. Your GPA is what it is. You're studying what you're studying. That can be interesting. It's good. It's solid, depending on what I'm looking for and what position I'm hiring for. But what really gets me in a conversation, which is what an interview should be, it should be a two-way street and a conversation of give and take, is when I find something unique and interesting on their resume. And I grew up in a golfing family. My father is 91 years old, and he still goes out and hits golf balls. He's had not able to actually play rounds, but he does go out to the course. He does putt, he does drive as well. So I grew up as a child. On every Sunday, he would take me and my older two brothers out on the golf course and play. And I learned to drive the cart very early, earlier than I should have. And I did learn to putt. And then I come from a golf family, and my brothers are very good golf players as well. But so I understand, and I'm actually getting back to playing golf that I have not played since high school. And what brought me back to that. So here's where the value add. Here's what I've gotten from the Caddie scholarship and this opportunity to come and speak to you. It brought me back to the golf course, which has very fond memories of my family, of very good times alone with my dad. And those are memories I will carry with me forever. And it's through the Caddie Scholars and this event that motivated me to get back out on the golf course, to get back to the driving range. And I'm very excited to work on my game. Your game you're working on, and how I can help and support you, is how do you move forward in your career path? Use the resources that are at your fingertips. Tonight is an invaluable resource. So utilize and have these conversations. These are all people that want to help you. Reach out to your career services center. That is who has the resources and connections to your alumni from where you're in school. Reach out to your high school. These are all areas to do connections as well.
As an owner of a company, I think it's super important to follow up. It shows that you really want that job. Number one, it shows what kind of person you are. Number two, it shows that you have worth ethic, and it also shows that you're a driven person. Every time I get a resume, or we could do an interview, have a couple interns as well. Most of the time, I was hiring the people not based really off their resume, more about what they knew, what kind of person they were, and how they followed up with me.
What are the pros and cons to submitting my resume to a company that does not currently have a job posting? No cons there. The only difficulty would be it's actually kind of hard to apply to a company that doesn't have an active posting. Some of them have talent communities you can join. If there's any way you can get your resume into the hands of the right people, please do so that when they are hiring, you're kind of at the front of their mind, and they might alert you that, hey, we have postings now, feel free to hire. No downside there. Next question is, how important is utilizing LinkedIn? It's not only is it important, it is mandatory, it's crucial. LinkedIn is your resume. Just consider it as important as your resume, and it is your online resume. And more companies are utilizing LinkedIn just as an application process, where on the company website you're applying to, there'll be a LinkedIn button that'll allow you to sign into your LinkedIn account, and it will populate your application. It will link your LinkedIn profile. It is synonymous with you and your professional kind of online identity. And it's also used by recruiters to verify your resume. If they get your resume, they get your application submitted, they're going to go on your LinkedIn profile. They're going to search you. They're going to find you. First of all, make sure all your LinkedIn background matches up with your resume. And then, of course, have a professional picture. Make sure it's not just some cropped, picture from a birthday or a wedding, or something with a drink in your hand. As professional as possible, because the people who decide your career and whether or not to employ you are going to be looking at that picture, and it's going to be looking at your background.
I think the mistakes would be more on the lines of fabricating your history, lying on your skill set. Because anytime you're going to lie on a resume, you're going to get caught. If you make it through and you get a job and you don't have those skill sets, then it's going to find out that you're not qualified. or if you say you had a degree in X and you didn't, they're going to find out. I think I'm not an expert on resume writing, but I think being factual, truthful, you can expand on your skill set, but just keep it within the framework of being honest. And but the major mistakes are not being truthful.